To order. All right, this meeting will be held in person. It can be viewed on local cable channel 1303 or on the internet by accessing bucksportmaine.gov, selecting agendas and minutes, choosing this meeting, and clicking on the video button next to it.
Okay.
All right. So we did at the last meeting say that we wanted to clean up a description from the May minutes. Did you have a chance to look at? I did make a note so you could see what the change was. It was about the size of the links. Remember, there was so I'm just clicking on it so I can.
I didn't refresh my
So
memory on what it said.
So basically, it was just to clean up the sentence that said. Now it says there are two chain sizes. The lower chain has to have large links installed. That's what it said. And I just added the smaller links need to be replaced with the larger links. That's the concern, right?
Wow.
Okay, so for, I guess for those minutes,
For the minutes from May.
that would be correct. And then we can go further on today.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of May 7th. You want two separate motions or one for both?
We can do both.
Okay, make a motion for May 7th and the minutes for June 26th for the cemetery committee as written. And amended, as amended and written.
Anyone want to second that motion?
Second.
I do.
Seconds from everybody. All those in favor?
No.
All those opposed? All right. And for discussion, we had the Oak Hill update. So that would be the fence, the maple, and future maintenance. Anyone have anything? I do have some responses from Jacob that I'm going to pull up in my email. But does
Madam
anyone
Chair,
else have anything?
we received an email this evening, just
okay.
before the meeting from Whitney. And she's here. The email discussed estimates for the repairs at Oak Hill.
Okay.
I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but
No, I was driving, so I did not see
I
that.
have
but-
printouts, I can give you one.
Okay,
is this the right time to have it?
Sure.
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Do you want me to talk about that now?
Yeah, that would be great.
Remember, Whitney, Richard wanted, anxious, no, I'm just.
He said it would take all the time.
Everyone's harshly judging me and speeding
Right.
me along.
Right.
So I handed out, everyone's got a copy of the estimate. This is basically everything left to be done in Oak Hill. Like after this stuff is done, it should be good. Unless anything else happens, like sometimes, there are two stones that have fallen over just kind of on their own accord. I don't really know how, what that happened, but they fell over. It was let's see if I can find it.
I think there's one up in the corner.
Yeah, there's one by
Middle
the,
Street, up at the far top end there.
there's one, so the ones that there's the Henry and Louise Giles, which is kind of over by like the tomb area. And then there's Edward and Margaret Bennett, which is right next to the T.C. Woodman sarcophagus. That one I don't know that it was vandalism, but it seems like maybe something knocked into it because it is very level, and I don't know how it would have fallen over. It's a very solid looking granite stone, but in any case, I can lift it up, put it back on the base. Oops, what did I just do? 1 second. So I have a copy on my iPad here of the plan with some pictures that I can pass around if anyone wants to see it, hasn't seen the email yet, since I did that very last minute.
Okay.
You want to take a look?
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, it's basically just a lot of, resetting those two stones. There are some more that are leaning that need to be leveled up so that they won't fall in the future. And a lot of just kind of repairs of the pin cracks in the stones, and some that are loose on their bases. That's pretty much it. And, you know, like I said, like I think once this is done, the cemetery will be pretty good. It's gonna be
Mhm.
looking
Awesome.
That
great.
looks great.
Yeah.
It is looking great, yeah.
Really great.
Now, how long would this possibly take?
I would estimate I could probably get it done by early to mid-October.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah.
Ms. Chairman, I've seen her do her work, and it's impressive. I wish
thank you.
I knew how to do that kind of stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Ms. Chairman,
No,
would you like to?
no,
Yep, there you go.
Madam Chair, one of the questions, we've made a commitment, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna
Yes.
finish this up, which is great.
Mhm.
And you've given us an estimated total of $4,055.
Yes.
My question is, do we know how much was left in that account?
So, the question that I asked Jacob was, I wanted to clarify the amount that we're allowed, like, what's the process? Like, how much can we spend versus what has to go to council for approval or what needs bids and that kind of thing? So he said that, generally speaking, anything less than 2,500 doesn't require a formal quote or bid. Things that are 25 to 5,000 require quotes from 3 bidders if possible and can be approved by the town manager. 5,000 plus requires competitive bidding, town manager approval, and council approval. So we would definitely be in that mid-range. We would just need approval from Jacob. And he had said that, we talked about last time how when there's something that needs to be done that isn't already in the budget, then it just needs to be put through.
This,
him.
money for this was taken from the endowment at Oak Hill. It was taxpayer money.
It's one of the, but it's not the association. But didn't he say? Okay, so the Oak Hill is one that has its own separate account.
It had an account which we
And
decided to
down.
cash in, and I think it was 68, something like that to start with. I can't remember. But it was originally something like 50,000, but there was more to it. And we've been drawing from that account just for Oak Hill because it was left with the Oak Hill. And the Oak Hill was taken over by the town.
Right. So I didn't know the endowment part. I thought that the 60,000 that was in last year's budget was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that came from an endowment because he had said there wasn't a specific project this year, so that doesn't show in the budget line, but we can still access the money.
I don't believe it should have been in last year's budget, the way it was positioned, because it wasn't a taxpayer generated.
Yeah, that's what.
line.
Yeah.
And when I saw it the other day, I was looking at it thinking, that shouldn't have been there.
Okay.
And it's the only one that we have that's like that.
Okay.
And we decided, I believe, to make it because it's a central and very important cemetery in this town, and it's centrally located. And it needed work, so that gave us an option to do that, and we decided to cash that in and start using it. So I guess my question, knowing that, is how much do we have left and how do we
Okay.
identify that?
He said, I would think we would want to budget for it on a yearly basis for like work like this for that cemetery, as opposed to drawing funds from the investment. Are you saying that there's no longer an investment?
Well, that's my question, is how much we've been drawing off this. And, so do we continue to finish? I think we're committed to finishing it. And I think Whitney's been very fair and very complete with her efforts and done excellent work. And I don't know that we even have to go, I assume we had the management along with the town manager. We didn't have to go to the town council. I
No,
think they may have.
Don't have to.
no,
So,
In the
and
mid,
not for this amount.
Right.
And even so, but my only question, like he said, quotes from 3 bidders if possible. I don't assume there's many people who do this work. I
think
don't.
that would be fair to Whitney, and I think that would be a real black eye on the
Yeah.
town.
Well, and usually when someone has done work in the
She's done
past,
incredible work.
it would be that you'd be doing the work, I would imagine, but sometimes if it's a certain amount of money, it's just, that's the general rule, right? So-
I understand that, and it's taxpayer money, if it's taxpayer money, but this is not
Right.
taxpayer money. This is endowment money.
Yeah.
And I think, I just think it would be a poor form to switch contractors, sorry.
Yeah.
Especially since the high quality work we've gotten and the
Sure.
incredible reporting and follow through on this activity. Whitney's been incredibly precise and detailed on all the things she's done. I've been overwhelmed by the quality of the work, and I just think it's something we just need to continue to pursue.
Right.
Again, I'd like to know, there's another thing I will talk about in the future here in the meeting. I'd like to know how much money's left in that endowment. And we've asked about that, and we've not been at it reported.
So I probably didn't ask the question correctly because I didn't realize that.
Oh, I understand.
Right,
Yeah.
I was thinking when he had said we can take money as needed, it just isn't set aside in the current year's budget. I didn't realize that there was special kind of earmarked.
But by putting it in
Okay.
last year at 62,000 or whatever it was, and then saying, well, we're not doing it this year, it's kind of nebulous at best. It wasn't taxpayer money last year to put it in it, but it wasn't really budgeted last year.
Okay,
So to take it out this year and say, well, we're not gonna do that again this year, well, that's true, but it wasn't budgeted anyhow.
yeah, right,
And it's kind of makes it difficult to understand.
yeah.
Who would we go to get that information?
So Jacob would be able to answer that.
Okay,
And that should be easy just to ask him.
Yep.
If-
There's an account there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay,
It's not
so
listed.
I think we have to get approval through him anyway to move this forward. So should be able to do both those things at the same time.
My thought would be if there's enough money in the endowment to do this, 4,055 to do that this year, and then next year start with what Jacob has proposed, putting it in the budget.
I don't disagree with you, but there's some work that needs to be done on that too. They really, well, I'll talk about it later, but I agree with you. Just, it's kind of difficult the way they've got it structured right now, so.
So do we wanna make a motion on this?
Madam Chair, I'll make a
Piece.
motion to accept Whitney's estimate and request she continue on with the project
Yes,
as
I
long as we
agree.
have the money in the budget to complete this project. And I would consider this completing the project that we started. And thank you again for all you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you all so much.
Sorry.
And if it's not enough money in the budget to finish it, we probably will have to go to the council and ask them. to help us finish it.
Right, right.
I mean, I can also, if, if it is a money issue, I can sort of try to figure out like which things are the most pressing and like bring in a lower estimate of like just those most pressing things,
Okay.
if that would be helpful.
I'm satisfied.
yeah.
Look who's here.
I know,
Oh,
right?
my.
It's just awesome.
I said good
Yeah.
things about you.
Are
too.
you? Jacob, we already have a question for you. Is it an okay time to ask?
It is.
Okay, can you help us clarify that the understanding is that there was an endowment previously for Oak Hill? And so, we don't know how much money is left in that endowment.
Right now, I believe there's about 140,000.
Oh, how could that be?
More than,
A little more, yeah.
However, there was 62,000 that was spent last year on the fence project that has not been transferred out of that account yet. So what you have left to work with is, roughly 80,000.
I'm stunned. I
You
don't
get
know.
paid.
I know, right?
We didn't realize there was that much to start with,
No.
Exactly.
but the 60,000 for just the fence sounds a bit high. So I thought that quote to install the fence was like just under 30,000.
The budgetary amount last year that I have in my head is 62,000 for some reason, but I can certainly double check that.
Budgeted for, but not actually spent.
I can double check that. I don't have that off the top of my
See,
head.
my thought is, when I saw that, and I saw last year's budget, that this was an endowment, and this, why would this be put in the budget with taxpayer revenue? I mean, I just, this should have been something
The
isolated.
reason is because we pay for it out of our operating,
Oh, all right,
so
so,
then we need to transfer
Transfer it
that money
across.
into the operating.
okay,
That makes sense.
so it was a paperwork issue more than anything else. And you said there's I mean, I never heard $130,000 or 140, whatever it was to start with. I'm just stunned. We were under the impression it was like 68 or somewhere around there. total.
Yeah, that's what's in the account right now. But like I said, money needs to be transferred out of it.
And so all of that you believe is endowment money originally?
I believe so,
Okay.
Chris, but I can,
And I'm not doubting you, I'm just trying to make
I
sure.
just had Rachel pull the statement, that's why.
So it was 140,000.
So I had my budget thing, assuming that nothing was spent after this, what we received this year, the year-to-date for 2025 was 32,145. And that, Larry, that's similar to what you were thinking the fence
Hmm.
estimate was. The 32 of the 62.
Was there any tree work that was done last year?
Yes,
Because it,
yes, there was. So there'd be something from Big J.
so that
Yes.
could be, probably still wouldn't be the 62, but
It adds to.
but I'll get you exact figures.
That would be
on
great.
so that-
And,
Yes.
you know, we're really excited about Whitney's proposal here, and we'd like to continue on, I would like to continue on. with
I would too.
Whitney as the vendor of.
I
But
don't
she's done
take it
great
personally,
work,
though.
and this sort of wraps up her work, this quote for $4,055.
So I had asked you, or Jacob, about when things are in that price range. I was letting everyone know that your response to me was that usually 25 to 5,000, if, you know, if there are other people who do the work, that typically that's looked at, but in this case,
Yeah, this is a pretty specific,
Yeah.
niche
Yes.
that you have here, that I can't imagine there are too many vendors out there, so yeah, this is perfectly fine.
Her record keeping and her reporting to us have been incredible.
Mhm.
And I've tried to put all of them up on Drive, so we'll have access to it at the town, on the town's Drive. And I think she's more than earned her chance to finish this job, as she said, so. But we have other ideas about other locations too, so.
okay, so Chris, you had made a motion, and Stephen, you were
Yes, I
seconding
did.
that? Okay, so,
To accept the $4,055 estimate.
Exactly.
And urge Ms. Whitney to complete the task.
okay. All in favor? Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Whit.
Do you guys have any other like questions for me or anything, or am I?
I will, but it's not about Oak Hill. Did you
Okay.
folks finish Lanford at all?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. We need to
Move that stone
move the
back.
stones
Yep,
back.
can do that.
So- And I just thought I'd ask, because I go by, but I don't have time to turn and look.
We realize, but we just haven't had a
Yep.
chance.
Yeah.
Well, call me when you do.
It's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Whitney.
you. Do you want me to make a note of what you were just talking about?
Sure.
Or is that, so it's the land
Yeah.
for,
So what happened is there was a pine that needed to come down, and Big J was hired to do that, but there was a couple of stones in the way that got destroyed when he dropped the tree, so we moved the stones.
so he's already been,
So he's already taken the tree down, so then we need to put the stones back.
them back, okay,
Mhm.
got it. Okay, is there anything else with Oak Hill?
Well, we talked about the links. What do we know about the links?
So the links, there were various sizes there. And what what they did do, what the installer did do is come back and replace all the chain links on the boundary between Wilson Hall and the cemetery. Replace them with heavy-duty plastic links.
Yeah.
But as far as Linda and I can determine, the other three sides have still got the,
Yeah.
Same
I went and,
age.
I went and walked around it the other day,
Yeah.
some people looked at me like, what are you doing? I'm surprised they didn't make a call to the town to be like, there's this woman and she's just like,
No, people go through that cemetery all the time.
yeah, well, I was like handling the
Oh.
links of like,
Oh, man, that's funny.
so, but yeah, I noticed there's one spot along the road, coming the way that you get to Wilson Hall, that it has a large one on top and like a thin one on bottom. And then it sort of is thin all along.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, that the one backside that I think of as the back has the thick chain, the thicker chain.
they replaced all the small chain with the heavier. You know.
And so was the original work, the original estimate based on having the thick?
That is a good question,
Okay.
and I don't know the answer to it, and I don't know as I ever saw the contract.
I don't think any of us ever saw the contract or what it specified.
I mean, it seems weird that it would be, that they would have been meant for it to be two different sizes.
Oh, no,
And the thin
I
one
don't
doesn't
think we
hold,
wanted
hasn't held up.
that as a committee.
Yeah.
It begs the question, so why did he come back? Or why did they come back, put the property if they-
Yeah.
if they knew that?
Sure.
Otherwise, they would have said, well, no, that's all part of the deal or whatever. We were kind of remiss on checking that out, and I don't know. I think it needs to be replaced. Because we've had difficulties with it blowing around, right? I mean, wasn't that one of the issues?
Difficulty was, snow load on them, snapped them. A lighter chain.
Mhm.
So there are several sections along the main road. McDonald Street, I forgot the name of the street. Several sections along McDonald Street that snow had gotten blown up on them
Mhm.
and the weight snapped them.
So we know that that doesn't hold up to the snow, and
And on the-
we also need to know why he did that line along your property, not the rest. It's two issues.
Plus, there was direction from somebody to do just that.
Well, we haven't heard from it was being managed through the Public Works, I understand.
Yes, so I asked, Jacob just stepped out, so, that was another question to see if cause he was we had mentioned that maybe we could look into that last time. He said that he will ask Kevin Potter, who's the new, facilities director, thanks, Rich, to look into it, so.
And Kevin would understand our two main concerns, and
I mean, I can, well, so I think the process that Jacob has said before is Jacob will communicate to Kevin. So any concern that
Okay.
we have,
that's what I was gonna ask.
because when I asked about the question along the lines, you were wondering if the people mowing knew to mow one section. So same thing, like he
Right,
said, if there's a
yeah.
concern, let Jacob know, Jacob will have Kevin follow up. And it looks like it was, I didn't see any areas when I looked the other day that looked
No, they took care of it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I would really like to see a copy of the contract with Morrison. I've never seen that, and if it's up, it needs to be up on the drive so we can reference it too.
Okay, yeah, it exists, cause.
And I believe it.
No, but I mean, cause I would have a copy of it from the minutes from the month that we approved it at council.
That's fine. So
But you don't
it
think
would
it's,
be-
you don't think it's on the, it should be in the,
It should be in the council minutes.
it should be in the council
But
minutes.
it would be nice to have it up on the drive. We have a folder for
Mhm.
cemeteries and whatever up there where
Okay.
we can put that kind of stuff. Anything that Whitney sends to us, I put up.
Okay, so I will post, Morrison.
Madam Chair, to answer Chris's question, the fence was reported by Kevin to me, and I escalated it to Susan, and that's why it was being fixed. Because I brought in both links that were broken. there were two different links that were two different sizes,
Yes.
and I brought it to Susan, and that's how that all started. Cause Kevin did that did the maintenance over there,
So Kevin knows.
so Kevin brought it to me, I
Yeah.
brought it to Susan, so Kevin is
He's
aware.
aware, yeah.
Yes, so if you ask him, he might know more, but like, he's the one who initiated the conversation. And then I ran into Larry, cause there was supposed to be something else done, I think on the Wilson Hall side, I think we discussed a bit, there was supposed to be an entryway maybe.
Well, the widths of the entryways were,
Yeah.
they were going about it wrong.
Is that okay now or no?
Oh, yeah.
It is. Okay.
So, may I speak? So, the gentleman knows about it, but, so we would still go through town manager to find out why it was just one side and not all four sides.
Well, I'm not sure if he would know that part, why it was that way. He noticed that there were a bunch of broken chains and the only common denominator was the snow, whether it was just the falling down on it or the plowing. So he had brought it to my attention, that's when I noticed that they were different size chain lengths. And then brought that to Susan, and I'm not sure if Kevin would then go to Jay Lanford, the Public Works Director. But there should be a contract for that, either with, I don't know if that went out to bid or not, how that happened, but
think
that
it
would be
did.
with either Susan,
So
which
there
would now be
should,
Jacob, or with Jay.
so we should have a contract, copy of that somewhere. I don't know
Should
if
be
the
one
council
someplace.
voted on that or not, but I don't think they
That was
did.
before my time.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't remember seeing it in the minutes, but it would be nice to have access so we can put it in into the drive again along with the other stuff that we're missing. Thank you, Rich.
Okay. We'll get there. Okay. For Superior Fence.
And I would think Jay would be the contact person.
He had been the contact person previously.
I mean,
What we
yeah, for
said.
the contract and all that.
I agree.
Okay, anything else that would kill? Oh, I have one other thing. We had a question before, along the same lines of how much we can spend or, what has to get approved. The question, I had asked about the maple tree issue and, we can get a quote, we can go forward with getting a quote from Big J. I'm assuming that it says anything less than 2,500 doesn't require a formal bid. So I have no idea how much.
I would think it's gonna be at least 2,500 and probably more.
Around
I
that.
think
Cable that up.
it will well exceed 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think
And
so.
so does anyone, do we need to, there are other people who do tree work?
Well, there are, but you know, the question is what exactly needs to be done and what do we believe needs to be done in there? And Big J has already done a site visit with us in the past. I don't know that we had a site visit with anybody else, but
No way.
we did with Big J. And I think the effort again was to keep it local. We'd done work, some of us had done work with him before. But if that's the rule that it has to go out to bid, I understand that. It's just we need to sit down and figure out what exactly we wanna put in that bid, which is, I know, the cabling, the trim, I don't know what else. I can't speak because I wasn't one of those that do this, so it's up to you guys to vote on how you wanna manage that maple. So that would have to go out, that would have to go through the town manager. Oh, Rich is gone.
So would we need, but even to have an idea, if there's any chance it's less, which maybe you don't think there is, that we could ask Jay to give us an estimate, and then if it comes in over the 25, then we can ask if we need to.
Yeah.
Because he can at least give us the rundown of what the work is, like similar to this.
So ask him, you know, if we do this, how much? If we do this and this, how much?
Right.
I heard tonight $130,000 or $40,000. It just takes that future maintenance item right off the agenda. Cause I'm sitting here all day thinking, what do we do, bottle drives?
Where's your
'Cause I'm
word?
thinking we're all out of money, there's no money left. I'm just stunned by that number. I never realized it was anything like that. So now the Big J issue is sound like I'm willing to spend all the money, I'm not, but it's just, this makes it much
You're
easier.
just-
Well,
It was
right,
like, here, have a gift.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I'll get a hold of Big J
okay,
and set up another site review. And we'll ask him these questions.
And I'll support it, even like, I still support anything you guys wanna do. Just let us know. If the site review has to be made public, is that one of the rules? I know it does with the council, if it's 3 or more.
oh,
I don't know if it.
Well,
I don't
let's
think-
see, we all attended it,
Yeah, I was there.
but,
Last
yeah,
time, yeah, we
I
all
was
were
there,
Yeah. yeah.
and Larry and,
I don't know the answer to that, I guess it'd
Mark
be good to
Eastman.
know, but I
Yeah.
would think for the committee, you would need people to see it. I mean,
yeah.
unless you go separate times, like for council, when we wanted to see the facilities, we didn't all go at once, we did go
Right.
in
Right.
small groups, cause otherwise we would have had a quorum. But I don't know if that applies to a committee, so I'd have to ask that.
But in this case, you're not gonna want, Big J's not gonna wanna meet individually with,
Right.
No.
But we may have to just say how many people is there a limit to how many people can go?
I see.
Okay.
Hmm.
But once you have a date, you'll share that, just email folks, okay.
We need to talk about Google Drive and Larry Wall in the future.
Okay, date for. Okay, all right. So then we move on to the 917 right of way.
Madam Chair, may I just say on future maintenance? I know it's a contract, and once we see the contract, it'll help understand what maintenance means to the contractor there. What exactly does it mean? But maintenance should also include more than just mowing and trimming. There should be some money set aside for Whitney's return if necessary, or so I'm assuming, the reason I'm saying that is because I'm assuming they're gonna wanna budget this, which is a good idea, even though the money's sitting there. We still need to budget for it somehow
Mm.
and have a
Right.
full understanding of what that money means and how it got there would help the
Mhm.
public accept any decisions we make.
And that may work well, cause the council had talked about checking in on where some things are in November, so that we're not just doing it all when we hit the regular budget season. So we could make sure that we have that, some kind of, that idea of raising that issue so that there's a certain amount that plans to be set aside in the budget.
Great,
Okay,
thank you.
okay, 917 right away?
I'm gonna own up, I haven't done a thing on it, and I apologize to the committee and to the people of the town of Bucksport, because I met with Mark, because when he was here, he was like the point on that. I'm still not 100% sure I understand. Mark's given me the contact information. I have not contacted Mr. Jerome, and I apologize for that. But, and I have not contacted the landowner. But knowing that it was 2022 when we did the site visit there, and 2 of you folks here have not been, 3 of you folks have not been there for the site visit.
Yeah, I was there, right?
I thought it might be a good idea to have another site visit at that location and start again on that issue.
Yep.
Get that taken care of. The Mr. Jerome deals with a right of way, 30-foot right of way that goes up through there. I think it's 30 feet. But we have, some of us have not been at that location to see where we found there. And I think it would, we can contact the landowner, who is very courteous and very cooperative. Then allow us to go up and have another site visit for those who haven't been there to
Mhm.
see it.
Mhm.
And so that way we'll have a full understanding. Meanwhile, I still have to contact Mr. Jerome, but I'm not sure I understand the exact questions I need to ask him. But I'll work through that, and I apologize for not getting on it. I can make all kinds of excuses, but it's just basically I haven't done it, so, sorry.
So, but that is still on your
Oh, it's there,
plate,
yeah,
okay,
along with, no, I won't say it, really other things going on.
And you'll, so if and when you get a date, you'll share
I
that
will
with
let
the
everybody
committee.
know, yep, I'll send an email out to everybody, and we'll see if everybody can, I'll give them a couple dates and see if we can. But I'll contact the landowner first and make sure. There's a lot of possibilities of some major changes there, so that's gonna possibly run into a lot of money, that project, if we follow through.
Are you talking about transferring the stones?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of them. Plus, we talked about clearing out part of the woodlands there to get access into the place. And the landowner's very nice about that, so, but it's been a while since we've been there and talked about it, so
Did you say 2022?
I think that's when it was.
Or maybe it was 2023.
Site review, it may have been later.
3 years ago.
Sorry,
3 years ago.
it's been a while.
Okay.
I made the papers, if you remember correctly, last week, when I had a discussion with it.
Lydia, sorry if I ask you a question. We looked at moving those stones from Riverview back up to 917. Did we decide that we could do that without harming them?
I think so. I mean, these are in pretty good shape despite being half buried in the ground. I didn't see any like issues, like structural issues with stones. They seemed like they're all intact. And I mean, obviously, if you like start excavating a little bit, like you could discover something unexpected. But based on what I've seen up to this point, like it seems very possible.
I'm sure you're familiar with the location of the stones, where they're located now.
Yeah.
And the concern I've had is that the town staff should not be put in charge of that. It should be a professional, knows what they're doing. And I don't know what that, who knows what it means, but somebody who I would assume is insured, but I'm surprised that you didn't see anything there. A lot of the stones there are slate, and some of them have cracks in them, so I thought, I've seen them sitting there, laying there.
Didn't seem like catastrophic
Yeah,
damage.
that's
any of
good
them to
news.
me, so yeah.
Thank you, that's really good news.
I don't wanna put Whitney on the spot, but did we decide that we could do that, or?
I mean, it was a while ago, but.
2023.
Do you still think that you could tackle it?
Oh, boy, I admire your spunk.
Alright.
That's good
Well,
news.
I'm sure she'll have a plan.
Well, if I set up a site review, is everybody interested in going?
Oh, yes.
Everybody said, so.
Of course.
Yeah, well, and
Well,
I'll ask
yes.
and I'll have the answer to the question about if there's some issue that we can't all go or not, so we'll know that.
Yeah.
But
Say
yeah,
that again?
the idea of if there's a problem with everybody going,
Oh.
which I don't think there will be, but
Well,
I'll find out.
We've all got schedules, but we can,
Yes.
oh, you mean as far as?
As far as if-
I mean, I
right.
got you.
The issue from before.
No.
Scheduling wise, yes, I'd be happy to go if I'm available.
The whole thing about, we've got to clear out some of the foliage there to get access back there where those graves are, to install, and there was a possibility the town could support that through digging or whatever, or moving in gravel or whatever, I don't remember what it was. But that would have to be part of the discussion too, to renew that possible opportunity, because we don't know if that's true. And that moving of stones could get expensive. Anyways, it's good news so far, so thank you, Whitney, and thank you, Larry, if that's an possibility. But I just think it's important. The other problem is where that right-of-way goes up through there. I know we found the post in the ground. We had done a LiDAR check of the wrong location,
Right.
and we, on the side between the church and the property line, the town went in and cleared that foliage out of the way so we could do that. That proved to be the wrong, and we found all the graves up in the back. We found them mounted, all lined up, and so the next question was going to be, how do we get access up to those those locations with the stones. We talked about, maybe the town could come in and remove some of the trees, small trees there, and we talked about leaving small trees and removing small trees. But it's been a while now, you know, and I think it would be great to start with another site review and renew our understanding of what we think needs to be done to accomplish that.
Mhm.
And when you send that email, I think we might have mentioned this last time, but you're gonna include Jacob in case this is.
Always, yeah,
Yeah.
I always try to include the town manager. You need to be in charge, involved in those things too, Rich. And emails among the,
Please no.
No, thank you.
okay.
Would that just be Jay, or would it be Kevin to Jay, or? See, would he be
Or the town
involved in it?
manager, please.
I would just go right to Jacob. Because it was, outside of town would be Jay.
Outside of town.
Kevin's got the knowledge of the Oak Hill Cemetery. And then of course all the guys, they then mowed all the cemeteries around town, but I think anything that's contracted were digging up stuff. That would go right from Jay.
Definitely need a good road
Well, they,
to transport the,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. We need to get something up in there.
and to be able
And
to turn
then
around.
there's a question of placing them in the ground and having a substrate that will accept it and hold them. Because they're not gonna go back where they came from,
Right,
but they're gonna be in the neighborhood. That's
Right.
the best we can do.
so it'd be important to have Jay at this site visit.
Yes, because he would have
Make
to,
sure whatever you
right.
choose he can do.
Boy, that
100% would
throws
be
a
Jay.
that throws a real challenge, because I know he's a busy man. Not that you folks aren't, but just, all right, I'll do what I can. The landowner's been really, really kind and really, really generous with his
And
time.
you have his contact.
I do. Yeah. And then the other issue with Mr. Jerome is the right of way. We don't know if it goes over the cemetery location or not. I can't remember what we decided, but we did find
I
that.
thought
That was
we,
my concern, that the right of way went over the location that we had determined. I just didn't wanna see any
It goes by,
problems down the road.
right, it goes
There's another
by
landowner possibly?
the right of ways where Mr. Jerome owns the right
Yeah,
of way.
yeah.
But the cemetery towards, if that's Route 15 there, the cemetery sort of points that way. And the right of way comes up between that property next door and goes up by the cemetery. Starts out like at Route 15, theoretically, it comes all the way up that side of the property. Question is the width of the right of way. I think it was 30 feet from the line or something like that. And does the right of way now go over the cemetery's locations back there? Gotta find that out. We do have surveys. Mark gave me two surveys, one from '86 or something, and another one later. Those are on Google Drive. I
Mhm.
did put those up there, so you can take a look and see what the latest survey shows. There's no other information on it, so. And I think it may not mention the width. I just don't remember. But we did find some posts in the woods from the survey. Well, the one over the property line there too, and that one post there. That was real near the stone, near the grave locations. The grave locations are easy to identify. We also found one small stone with a name on it that I thought just leave it there, it might help us when we place the big stones back, which I believe was a child's stone. That's still there, they didn't take that out of there.
I suggest we have a plan of where the stones are gonna go before you transport
Yeah,
them.
yeah, obviously.
You know, that's,
That would be, that's true. Gotta think of everything here. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, and then Ginn Memorial.
I
You-
think,
You shared an email last week.
yeah, I
That's
think I saw Elizabeth Ash Snow. I ran into her at the Hannaford's about a week or two ago. Maybe I shared that with you folks already. She has been dealing with family illness, and is no longer I don't know what her position was with the DAR, but she's stepped down from that position, and she's exact words, but I haven't forgotten you folks.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, and I never brought it up, but she said, I'm still involved, I'm still interested, I still wanna do it. And so I told her we reviewed in aisle number 3, we reviewed what we had talked about, and getting her to get that placement of that stone or that memorial at the back of the Bucks Cemetery. And I asked Judith about the Orrington, but she didn't have any information. James Ginn's wife is buried in Orrington, so the question is where was he buried? And I think I already mentioned this, that we have all the records for Mr. Ginn's, what's the word I'm looking for? Probate, the will records,
Mhm.
everything in great detail, nothing about where he's buried. And so that's why we're trying to find out, you know, if we can get a stone. We believe we can get a stone or a memorial, it's just getting it done. But I was hoping that she could do it for us. I'm not sure what her schedule is.
But she won't do it until she knows that there isn't one somewhere else, correct?
I think that was it, yeah. that's
And
correct.
so Judith doesn't know,
Judith,
but she doesn't know how.
she's
could she-
aware of this, and,
Right.
but she's also heavily involved in the Arlington location for
Mhm.
various things. And I did ask her, but and I don't believe she got back to me on it. I may stand corrected on that, but she came over to the house a couple of weeks ago, and I asked her if she remembered any of that. She says, no, I haven't had time to look,
Okay.
and I don't even think we
It's not-
asked her to look,
But she would know, if she doesn't, she knows who to ask for Orrington.
yes. Orland, I'm not sure who's in charge of the Orland situation.
How do we find that out?
Well, there must be a sexton over there for that. We don't,
I told Liz that I would help her with Orland as best I could,
okay.
trying to if he's buried with relatives or
That's right, she was gonna look at that.
she was gonna look into it as well.
Yeah, she's had some real difficult times over the past few weeks with family illness, some real difficult times, so
Mm.
she's had to change a lot of things. But that's, I'll try to get involved with it as much as I can. But that's where we are with that, and I've looked up the Ginn stuff, I've got some new information, historical societies that move some things around about the Ginn family, about just mention about the property down there and the house. The property of the Ginn family was where Hannaford is now, and there was some speculation, Madam Chair, to bring up to date, that he may have been buried there at that location. But there's no proof of it, there's no record anywhere, and his wife is buried in Arlington, the cemetery up there. But,
He had a shipyard,
yes, there was a shipyard there too,
and that was in front of Hannaford's.
was where Hannaford is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It
So,
wasn't just his, the family, it had been in the family for at least one or maybe 2 generations before that too.
mm,
So
Okay.
I will
Okay.
do what I can to get going on that. Maybe what I'll do is contact Ms. Snow and see where we are and report back to the group. Is email okay to report
Sure.
rather than wait till
I'll
next
get
week?
on.
Sure.
Add it to my list of things to do.
Okay. Other items not on the agenda.
Madam Chair, the one concern I have, Rich is still here, but that's okay, we're not reporting to him, so. Is the budget process for cemeteries at the town of Bucksport. And right now, the belief is, at least my belief is budgets for the cemeteries of the town of Bucksport are established. And I'm not sure it's true, but I've been told by the number of veterans interred in those cemeteries. There's a basis rate put on per veteran, and it's multiplied out, and that's how cemeteries are compensated, given granted monies. I don't believe there's any tracking of that money once it's granted. there are 2 cemeteries I'm aware of that are not listed on that cemetery list.
Right.
And so that's one issue for me. And the second issue is, for years, I've asked the town to provide a total amount of, how much it's cost to maintain the cemeteries that it does maintain. Now exclusive of Oak Hill, because that's a separate budget issue, but I've asked how many hours you're putting in maintaining these cemeteries. There's a ton of them. And, you know, trying to come up with a maintenance plan for some of these that have had fences destroyed. But just trying to get the number of hours. We got the hours for Oak Hill before we did this endowment cash in, and it came to 22 hours every time they mowed it. So we put a price on it, 22 hours at $30 an hour, just threw that out as a wage and benefits. It came up with $600-700 every time it gets mowed. But we can't seem to get how much time or effort they're putting in all these other cemeteries. So that we have a true cost of cemetery maintenance in this town that the council will understand. That's not saying, I'm not saying we shouldn't grant money out there, but we need to have an understanding of how that money came about. Why is it being sent out? And my understanding, again, is veterans, and that's great, but we don't know. Nobody seems to know.
Okay.
And I would ask the town manager and or the council to come up with a explanation of what they're doing. And again, there are 2 cemeteries that are not covered in that plan. For example, like Evergreen has, I think, the highest, and that's great. I'm happy for them. But then the much larger cemeteries have a lower amount that's granted out every year.
Right.
Just trying to understand how that works.
Okay.
I think I've talked enough.
Okay. Anything else that's not on the agenda? Rich? Yes, please.
So the Buck Cemetery wall project is almost complete. The last remaining task is the railing. And according to my memo from the engineers, the contractors to meet on site this week to take field measurement for shop drawings to get those completed. Hopefully the week of the 21st. Following week.
Great job, thank you.
You're welcome. So that parking lot is still closed, closest to the ramp entrance, because the town does not want anybody up there without railings in
I was
place.
just gonna mention.
Yeah,
So it's still closed, but the public can still enter, and they have been, through the gated entrance.
Any of the materials you have about that, could you put them in that drive folder, or do you have them in another one? Anything, yeah, any of that stuff. If you want,
I'll get a
I'll
scanner.
I'll scan it for you if you want. But I'd just love to have all that stuff for historical purposes, especially.
It's shared with the wall across the street, but yes, this whole document can go
But if
there.
it's there now, just tell me where it is and I'll copy it and throw it into the other one too.
Here, I haven't started any scanning. Well, that's not true. I have to go to the state, but
Thank you,
the full project's not scanned yet. It will be.
thank you.
Right.
Now, will there be geraniums on those walls there? Is that part of the contract? It would look lovely to have red geraniums along.
We'll just say those bushes that were there before are not being replanted. We're planting grass there to keep it so that it's easier to maintain.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that tonight too.
Yes. Anything else? Okay, so next meeting. Let's see if we can line it up with a council night. That's an idea. In August, the council will meet the 13th and the 27th. Make sure. Because it's a late. The first is a Friday, so the second Thursday is the 13th.
I have both the
Fourth.
13th and the 27th available.
me as well.
I think we need more members too. I'd throw that out, just to cause mayhem. Need to recruit more members. Larry, you wanna join?
Go
No,
for
all right. So I have the 13th and 27th available, that's all I'm saying.
Anyone else?
That's
I'm
Wednesday.
It's a
13th is-
Wednesday.
or 27th work for you?
I don't mind at all.
We meet early enough so we wouldn't conflict with any other meetings anyway, so. I thought I might have had something on the 13th, but it doesn't look like I actually do. Would you rather do it sooner rather than wait till the 27th, or
It doesn't matter to me.
I probably,
do you need more time
I think
to
I
get
need a
to
little
the
more time.
people?
Yeah.
So go with the 27th?
that would work for me too.
Okay, 27th.
Hey, what do you guys think? I don't wanna.
27th.
Yep,
All right.
August
does-
27th,
Yeah, all right, cool.
At what time?
5 o'clock. If
You
that,
okay with that?
is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes there is another meeting at 6 that night, so, yeah.
The 27th is a Wednesday.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're gonna meet
Why
them
am
on
I-
Wednesday.
No, we're
No,
not,
no.
I don't know why.
Wait a minute, we can't.
That's-
No, we can't meet
It's
at 5
supposed to
o'clock.
be-
I'm
thank
hating you
can
now,
we?
Rich.
I don't know
You're gonna
why,
make-
I'm looking at the calendar on the second week of the month and I got the wrong day. So the 28th,
All
is that
right,
better? Yeah,
that sounds good to me.
28th is okay? Good
Hold
thing you're
on,
here, Rich.
Thursdays are a bear sometimes, you know. 28th, I believe, is swell.
Okay. The 28th, we will meet,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you very much,
That is
Madam Chair,
all
you're
for
doing great
this
work.
evening. Thank you all for coming,
you.
and we will conclude this meeting